Cheers.
Cheers, bro.
What's up, guys? It's the old goats. I got Ogre. I got Hoffa. And this is our little Christmas show here, end of year recap. And we're just going to talk a little bit about what we've done in the podcast up to now, what we're going to do, and a little bit about Christmas, what Christmas means to you, what this time of year means to you guys. I love this time of year, man. I love the weather. I love the gift giving, the days off, the drinking. Just everything is super cool. The time off from school when I was a kid.
Yeah, that was huge.
Yeah, everything. I just love everything about this time of year. For me, I'm in the toy business, so like that means like the end of my crazy busy season. So it's also like a big like I reach the finish line, you know, and then I get to take a little breather and be with my family and partake in a couple of my favorite drinks and stuff like that. Like what about for you? What does this time of year mean for you?
I mean, I've always liked it. I've always been big on the holidays, especially Christmas. Having two small kids, like watching them open their gifts on Christmas Day. We go to my wife's cousin's house. It's always a tradition. On Christmas Eve, he roasts a pig. We stay there pretty much all day, drinking, playing dominoes, hanging out, listening to music,
Traditional Cuban Christmas.
Very, very traditional. And
Cajachina.
Cajachina. Here's a badass one too. It's like a modern one, but it's still Cajachina, but it's like a modern version of the old school shit that we used to have when we were kids.
And for people who may not be aware, explain a little bit about the Cajachina.
Well, a Cajachina is basically
not to be confused with a Pajachina.
What's that?
Oh man,
a Pajachina?
You've heard of the pearl necklace, I'm sure.
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
That's
all right.
a Pajachina. Yeah. Anyways, what is a Cajachina?
A Cajachina is basically a stainless steel fucking monster where you put a fucking pig inside of it and it cooks it. And basically he just sits there and cooks. And
you put the fire in the bottom,
right.
and it's like an oven basically. Yeah. My dad is super
anti. Put some coals. You put coals in each corner.
Does it have to have steel? Because I've seen it like construction bricks and wood stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, with the steel, like the modern ones are stainless steel, and they cook a lot faster. The other ones are like it's like an all day event, bro. By the time you go to eat the pig, you're so fucking drunk and so fucking fucked up that you probably eat just like skin and pass out.
My dad's old school, bro. He will dig a hole in the ground.
Yeah.
He'll put wood in there. He'll put like these blocks and then like a homemade grill piece.
That's how my dad
on two sides. And then like every once in a while he'll be like, "Hey, come here," and you gotta put on gloves and you gotta like flip that shit over manually. Yeah. And then
put
like
leaves and shit on top to keep the fucking bugs.
He doesn't really use like a leaf system. He uses like he puts some other thing on top to cover it. He actually puts like a piece of metal which also holds in the heat. And then like every once in a while he's like removing firewood or putting in or lowering it. And it does like
come out though.
I mean, it usually comes out pretty good, but it takes a long time. And for him, he's getting older now. It's more like a chore, Yeah. And I remember my grandfather used to do it, so I probably gonna have to learn how to do it. It just seems
now haven't learned. You've been watching it for fucking 40 years.
I could probably do it, but it just seems like a chore for him now. He wakes up super early. He just wants to get it out of the way, and like whenever that becomes my duty, I'm not gonna do it so early.
Yeah.
Because like it's cool. Like people go over and they look at you doing it, and they have a drink with you, and like you talk a little bit. He just like by the time people get to the party, it's done.
Oh, okay.
That's how he does it, which, I don't know.
How about you, Ogre?
Oh, man, for me, what was special for me was Christmas lights. When I was a kid, they kind of looked different. They were more brilliant, more bright. I don't know what it was, man, but family, having get-togethers. I don't get a whole lot of that, nowadays as much as... Because the family's kind of fragmented a little bit across the country. But I appreciate the time that I have, man. I appreciate the time that I have doing... appreciate the time that I have doing, all the things that we do in the holidays. Christmas parties, alcohol, because I'm in the alcohol industry. I get a lot of alcohol. I got a shitload that I'm going to be bringing in a few weeks later. But
I think I know a place where we can get rid of that alcohol.
Yeah.
Right here.
Go Penn Studios.
Yeah, we still got to do, just to touch on one of those themes, sorry to interrupt you, some of those tastings that we're gonna do with another guy that works with your company too, like a whiskey and a tequila. That's on board for 2020 at some point.
Man, no, I have my bin is full of a lot of alcohol. So if you guys need something for the tasting, I could probably hook it up a little bit with what I've got from my personal stash.
Yeah, well, how do you do a tasting? Like, how much should you drink?
About six servings or 6 samples.
So is that an ounce per sample?
About an ounce and a half per sample.
So if you're doing whiskey, you're gonna take 6 ounces of 6 different whiskeys.
Whiskey's tough to do samples with. You're gonna get. I mean, by the end of the day, you're gonna be slurred. I mean,
Sweet. That's what we want.
It's gonna be rough. I mean, yeah. If it's anything like my first episode here, but when we were just strictly on whiskey. But going back to the holidays, man. I mean, I really. It's movies, bro. To me, movies are a huge part of the holidays. You know, Home Alone, Die Hard.
I just saw Home Alone with my kid the other day on Disney Plus.
I don't get it. It's on Disney Plus?
Yeah, man. All 3 Home Alones.
Man, dude, no, I gotta watch
Polar
that.
Express is cool if you got little kids.
It's a little weird though with the CGI.
Yeah.
Even though it's 2005, 2006.
Yeah.
It looks like it's from the 90s.
Yeah.
Although there's a little bit of, with the whole Believe thing, you got me at that point. I'm falling on board on that one. So I like that stuff. And the whole
Christmas Story with Ralphie.
Yeah, Ralph. Well, and
Shoot your eye out.
you have the little jingle ball that if you don't hear it, it's because you forgot about Christmas. So you know what I did this year for my dog, which is I have a golden doodle. For December, I put a jingle ball on her neck, and so everywhere she walks around, I hear her with
like
this
the
little
Grinch.
Well, no, I hear it, so now I know I believe in Christmas.
You walk
So
around
because
with
I
your
hear
little
it.
dog everywhere.
Well, yeah, I thought about putting a branch on her forehead.
How old's your son?
He's 14.
So at what age did he not believe?
Yeah, I wanted to get into that.
I think he started to around 10.
10?
Wow.
Yeah, I kept
it going.
I kept it going for a long
Wow.
time.
But do you think he already knew?
I think he kind of already knew.
Sometimes they keep it going for you. I think.
I think it's a lot more for me because he knew. Okay, I want this, and suddenly it would appear. I mean, who else?
It's like,
would
wait a second, you got a pretty good thing going here. These people think that I think that that's thing, and I think what I ask, I'll get. Yeah, I'd play along too.
My son just turned 9, and
Oh, so does he believe?
Quantify that for me in
He
grade.
does.
He's done.
What
He's past
grade
that.
is 10?
Uh,
5th grade?
10 would be now would be like
depending on your
fourth.
birthday.
Yeah,
Birthday-
there's a February September date that if you hit, you go to the next grade or you stay behind or what
Yeah,
have you.
my daughter got screwed with that. She's like
Yeah,
a
my
couple
son
days.
too.
So what grade was he in? 4th or 5th?
He was like in fourth
Okay.
at that time.
And Rafa?
He's in 3rd.
Oh wow,
He's in 3rd.
that seems small to me.
But
to
he
not
already
believe.
knew though, man. Like, he kind of like, not that I slipped up, but he kind of like asked me something about it. So I didn't want to I'm like, yeah, he's already getting older. Like I don't want to keep like bullshitting him, and him like find out from another kid or, because kids are dicks, So I told him, what do you think? Like what do you feel like he's real? And he's like, well, really, I've had my doubts since I was 8, since last year. But I felt like you and mommy were not going to get me gifts if I said I didn't believe.
Wow.
So
So
since
he
he was
played along
8,
for the
I guess
gifts.
8 years old is when he figured it out. I mean, kids talk, man. Just
Dude,
like we talk at work or...
My son is 6, and he came the other day and he was like, "Yeah, somebody from school told me it's not real, a girl." And we were like, "What?" And
Little
then,
bitch.
yeah, we talked to the teacher, and then a couple days later he came back and he was, "Oh, they said we cannot even mention Santa Claus in school anymore."
Wow.
And like, I kind of feel like he already knows that it's not real.
Yeah.
And my daughter, I kind of feel like she's only 4. I kind of feel like either she thinks it's not real or she doesn't care. Because, like, I can't even threaten her with that shit anymore. They're like, whatever.
I mean, I asked her, like, when I walked in, I asked her, like, oh, you guys did your Christmas list, whatever? And she's like, yeah, send it to him. And I'm like, was it a big list or a small list? And she goes, no, it was a small list,
Yeah, well, I got, like, some address that supposedly the mail carrier told me they do send it somewhere and they get, like, a letter back. And I made them write out the address, like, Santa,
Oh, that's
Maine,
Makes it a little more...
North Pole, Alaska.
Keeps the lie a little more legit.
and they put their letters in the envelope, and like we handed it to the mail carrier, and she was like, "Oh, make sure I get it to him." And
You gotta put a stamp on it too.
put a stamp on it.
Wow, so they make you put a stamp on it.
I did that to authenticate it.
I'm about to say, geez, these fucking postal workers are pricks.
Well, I mean, if they send you a letter back, it's worth it, you know.
Yeah.
So I did all that, but I don't think.
I mean, once you stop believing, dude, it's not the same. Obviously, like I remember when I stopped believing. Like,
Wait, but is it? I mean,
you just said how much you enjoy this time of year, and
I mean,
just
I
said
do.
it too.
But
Wait a
I
second,
enjoy
wait.
it in a different way now. But when you're a kid, it's like a magical thing. Like you think like this fucking guy with a huge belly comes down your chimney, which doesn't exist when you live in a 2-bedroom apartment
in Florida.
in Florida where it doesn't snow ever, and drops off gifts. You know, so my mom, used to fucking. My dad never even.
Yeah,
mentioned
but I could see how it gets ruined for you because you're a kid at the time you get told Santa doesn't exist. But now you live through that with your own kids nowadays.
Right now it's like you relive the horror when your kid finds out it's not real. It's almost like damn, like I remember how I felt when it wasn't real, and then you gotta be the one to tell them.
I remember
or to,
being
confirm, you know what I'm saying?
I remember being like super sad about it
Yeah,
when I found out. Like I was like, man,
like crushed.
yeah. Not so much because I was lied to. I never felt like, oh, my parents are dicks. I felt like, fuck, man, that was pretty cool, and it's not real. It's like I wanted it to be real.
It was just the tip of the iceberg, bro.
Well, yeah, I tell you the saddest part of Christmas for me is when it's over. Like we hit January 1st.
Yeah.
And then I got to go through freaking what's that, Easter on April, which is like you're just bending over, grabbing a whole bunch of eggs off of hay, and you're getting all this shit in your hair and
Credit
stuff.
card statements come in.
Yeah, the real life begins on January 1st. And I don't like it, man. I like to slow down time, and it's just gone by so fast. And what are we sitting on now? What, December 22nd?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We were filming on Sunday, December 22nd.
It's almost over, bro.
Tell me about it, bro.
You might as well jump off a fucking cliff, dude.
Well, that's what wasn't that the whole thing with It's a Wonderful Life, another movie, right?
Right.
That they play it all the time, 1941. You like that movie? Have you seen that movie?
I haven't seen that movie. Should I?
I don't know, man. It's the most depressing movie in the world.
Very.
It starts off, this guy wants
Doesn't have
to
a
commit
depressing
suicide.
title.
He wants to commit suicide. We're talking 1941. This is the topic.
Wow.
And how dark the world would be without him. And an angel, Clarence, shows him the way. And Clarence gets his wings at the end of the movie. So...
Scrooged with Bill Murray.
Oh, dude, don't get me started on that movie. That's one of the great stories of all time.
That's why I mentioned it.
You got Bobcat Goldthwait. How do you say his last
Goldthwait.
name?
Oh, wait, that's the second time he appears on the podcast.
Yeah, Bobcat Goldthwait.
He
He's
gets
Jewish.
He gets
All you
fired.
Jewish viewers.
Now I know I'm probably doing like a spoiler alert. The movie's 30 years old.
Spoiler alert, really?
Come on, bro.
No, I know someone that didn't watch the
You didn't
movie.
have hair on your balls when this movie came out.
If you haven't watched it by now, sorry.
Dude, he gets fired from his job, Bobcat.
Right.
Bill Murray fires him, and then midstream in the movie, they work in tandem in a way that is so comedically funny. If you haven't seen it, it's worth watching.
It's a good one.
I think as far as the Scrooge, iterations, it's one of the best ones. Did you guys see the latest Scrooge movie that came out on
Jim
FX?
Carrey? With Jim Carrey?
No.
No.
A brand new one came out this year
No,
on FX.
No.
it's
Dark. Bob Cratchit's wife went to ask Scrooge for money, and Scrooge told her, this is a brand new movie, just came out this year.
Let's fuck.
Scrooge told her, show up at my apartment at 4 o'clock in the afternoon the following day, and you know what I want, and I'll give you your money. We're talking about going to an area where Christmas movies do not go.
Wow.
And I'm leaving out the worst part.
That's like something you would do.
If I was the boss and someone asked me for, we're probably in that area. Yeah.
You know which one I like, man? That not a lot of people mention. I don't know why. Elf. Elf is really good, dude.
Yeah.
Man, nobody mentions it. Everybody talks
The
about it.
spaghetti-
It's one of the great movies of all
Spaghetti with the
time.
maple syrup.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's classic.
It's awesome.
Today I was on an escalator and I did the whole thing where you know what I'm talking about when he did the escalator thing.
Wait, he does that thing?
No, he's stretching out because he doesn't know how to use the elevator
Okay.
escalator. I'll put a photo of that. I think I have to at this point.
I mentioned it like 3 times.
Elf is good.
Yeah, Elf is good.
What
Will
else?
Ferrell's funny, man.
Would that be his best role?
No,
Is that like his
Step
most-
Brothers, dude.
No,
Is it?
dude. Fucking
Dude,
Ron
Step
Burgundy,
Brothers.
bro.
Yeah, but Step
Yeah,
Brothers, bro.
yeah, I'm with you on that.
I like
one.
Ron Burgundy.
Dude, I can't get. You can't get tired of watching Step Brothers, dude.
He puts the nuts on the drum set.
Oh my god, when they're sleeping there in the dark, and he's like, "Hey, you're awake?" And the other guy's like, "Yeah." I just wanted to tell you, I fucking hate your guts.
But how about the other one that they do together, Shake and Bake? Well, what the Talladega
Talladega
Nights?
Nights.
That's
Yeah, where he was in a
Yeah,
coma,
that was good.
and he
same
said
guys.
he was in a coma, and he said, "I just wanted to know that, let you know that I spread my butt cheeks on in a Playgirl magazine as Mike Honcho." You remember that one?
Yeah.
Man, they make so many great movies together. I thought Elf might have been Will Ferrell's best role, but I think you may have talked me off the ledge on that one.
Old School was good too.
Old School is
Frank
great,
the Tank.
Yeah.
but I think I might go with Ron Burgundy as his best role.
Yeah, that's a good one,
Ron's
too.
good, dude. Super cliche of that era and the newscaster, and I love how he reads anything off the telestrator that they put up. So, dude, I want to recap like some of our shows for people that maybe haven't seen them or whatever, and then
Yeah, I mean, this is
follow
an
up.
end of year review.
This is like a recap. Yeah,
I
end
want
of
to
year.
say thanks to our subscribers.
Hell yeah,
We're up
thank
to,
you,
like,
man.
166, I think.
Merry Christmas to you guys here. Let's do a fucking
Merry
toast for
Christmas,
the
man.
subscribers. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
If just one person enjoys it, it's good enough for me. So this is our episode number 9, which is really our 10th episode. But just to recap the ones we did, 0 was the first one, which we did on Epstein. I'm not going to get into it because we actually did a second Epstein episode,
Right.
and we already followed that one up. Number 1, or episode 1, was the Patriots episode, when we kind of recapped all their cheating and scandals. And
You're
oddly
gonna have
enough-
to do an amendment on that
yeah,
now.
oddly enough, they're back in the news for that. They haven't been punished yet. What's going to happen? What are you going to do with that? What do you think?
Loss of a first round pick, maybe.
Something similar to a
Yeah.
Spygate 1 penalty?
Yeah.
I mean, their first round pick would be what, the last pick?
But it's
They're
a
gonna
loss.
They're
I
gonna
mean,
win the whole thing, bro.
No, they're not. You think so?
Ah,
I don't
You think
so.
that? You don't think the Ravens?
I don't know, man. Let's see how they do in the playoffs, man.
I mean,
Regular
I think
season's
clearly,
one thing, man.
clearly
Playoffs
the
is another.
Ravens.
They don't
been
have
the
home
best.
field throughout the playoffs, so
Yeah.
that's big for them.
Yeah.
They don't do well on the road in the playoffs.
Let's see, man.
I
I
just-
trust me, dude. Whoever plays them, I'm rooting for the other person.
What do you think is a fair punishment for them? Not what do you think they're gonna do. What do you think is a fair punishment?
I mean, the whole thing. Like, nobody wants to really have balls and say that that Belichick was involved, or dude, come on, bro.
Did you see the video?
There's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing that goes on.
I
in
can
that-
erase
that-
this for you right here. You heard that
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how he sounded. Like the Jerky Boys. Remember the Jerky Boys back
guy?
in the day?
Once I delete, it's gone. I can't get it back.
But
What do you think's a fair
thing,
punishment?
My thing is, like, Belichick. Like, come on, who's gonna really believe that Belichick had nothing to do with that?
That doesn't matter, bro.
What
If
goes
a
on in
cop
our-
pulls me over and there's coke all over my face, I can't say, "Oh, somebody walked by and threw coke on my face." It's not mine. I had nothing to do with that coke. They're gonna find me with coke on my face, and I'm gonna go to jail, dude. So, like, they got caught with their hand in the cookie jar. What do you think is a fair punishment?
I think you ban Belichick, bro. Don't
For
let him-
life?
From
For
what?
life. Don't let him be a fucking head coach anymore.
That's the punishment you would get?
Wow, that's a bit extreme. Man.
Yeah, I think.
Extreme.
It is.
Dude, that guy's got like fucking 50,000 allegations.
Yeah,
of
but you
cheating,
can't.
man.
I don't think you
Anything
can.
else you do to them, or just that?
Probably castrate him.
No, come on,
them.
seriously.
I think ban him, bro. Maybe
But-
ban him for like a couple of seasons.
Hasn't Brady already been castrated? Kind of looks it already, right?
Yeah, he looks like Adonis. He was like one of those little Greek guys.
What do you think is a fair punishment?
Loss of a couple picks.
That's
Well,
it?
they already did that, dude.
I-
They
but you
already
can't-
did that.
you
They
can't-
wiped their ass with that, and they still doing
You
shit.
do it again because you can't directly pin this to him. Say what you want. I know that we hate him like poison, but you can't pin this on him.
You know what I would do?
You can't.
I would say you cannot participate in the playoffs this year. You cannot participate in the playoffs next year. You're gonna lose a first round pick this year. You're gonna lose a first round pick this year. You're gonna be fined. You're gonna be fined,
Man,
and you're gonna be fined.
As much as I hate the
God,
Patriots, that's.
Mine is extreme.
That's what would
That's
hurt them.
extreme.
Would that not hurt them?
Of
That would
course.
make. Would that make you say, maybe I'm not gonna cheat next time. If I dock you a first round pick and I fine you, that's happened to us 2 or 3 times
Dude,
before.
their first round picks is always the last pick, dude. So
that hasn't stopped them.
To them, docking them a first round pick is like doing nothing to them.
Yeah, but
You think it's too extreme? What I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about keeping a team out of the playoffs.
What do they do in college, dude? You're not bowl eligible.
You forfeit losses. You forfeit wins.
And you're not bowl eligible for years.
Right.
Why not a similar punishment for a similar crime?
Man, I hate to think that you're talking me off of another ledge, but I kind of think that maybe that kind of, in a way, it kind of makes sense now that you bring in the college aspect of it.
I mean, they do it, dude.
This is the pros, though. I mean, we're talking wins that are just going to be, what, negated? What are we talking about here?
Exactly. The pros. The amateur, the kid gets punished, and he's a fucking kid, dude. He's a college student. If you're a pro, you're a fucking grown man.
Look, you should know better.
You should fucking know better. Exactly,
Absolutely.
The problem is that the NFL cannot admit that their signature franchise is cheating, and then they're in a bad position if they have to punish them severely, because that makes the whole league look bad. And dude, I think the NFL is getting boring for me. Like, I'm mad that they're allowing them to cheat. I'm mad that nobody else is cheating as good as them. Because who else is getting caught for cheating? Nobody else is getting caught for cheating.
Nobody.
If there was a few other teams getting caught, I'm like, fuck, at least other people are trying to keep up with these people's cheating. Right. They're the only people. Anyways, I don't want to keep going with that. That was episode 1.
It's like a follow-up of the...
yeah.
Well, there was the follow-up right there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's it.
Right.
Yeah, we did it. Boring. I'm not watching the Super Bowl if they're playing it this year. Episode 2 was Tarantino. I don't think we need to do much of a follow-up there. Maybe when we all watch that movie again. You know, I know you saw it recently. Once upon a time.
Yeah.
Kind of. You were telling me you wanted to love it, but.
Yeah, I loved it. I hated it because watching it, it was clear to me that the movie all began at the very end of the movie. Like, they sat around and said, I got this idea. I want to change the Sharon Tate and Jay Seenberg murders. And let's start from there, and then they worked backwards. And for me, the movie felt like there was a little bit of filler in it, although it had some great moments in it. The Bruce Lee moment, I thought that was cool. Mm-hmm. Brad Pitt was just a badass all throughout.
Oh, yeah.
But for me, I was a little disappointed that I could tell that the movie began at the end, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely. I get what you're saying. He had that idea, and then he worked his way back from that.
Now, was it done great? I mean, was the gore fantastic? Was it Tarantino-like? Did it make me happy to watch it? Did I rewind and see it again? Oh yeah.
You rewind?
No, just the. No, I hit the back button.
Remember
just on the
to rewind.
Please be kind and rewind.
I want to watch it again. I thought it was really cool, all the old cars and how they kind of made it look like they were in that old, 60s era. I thought that was cool. Any follow-up on Tarantino before I go to episode 3? All right. Episode 3 was Halloween, also known as Samhain.
Ogre's
debut.
His debut.
A very drunken debut.
He was in a drunken stupor. I
don't even want to watch that. I mean, it was really brutal.
Hey, I think it was pretty good.
It's one of our more popular episodes, actually.
It's almost at 1,000 views, actually.
But I don't know how, because I'm contradicting myself left and right throughout that video.
Well, the mask you had on the whole time.
That was probably
set
worth
the tone.
right there.
That fucking mask was fucking epic.
Fun episode, Halloween. All right. One of my favorite episodes was number 4. I loved preparing for this episode and doing it. The Wild West show.
Yeah.
That was a fun episode.
That was a lot of fun. The set was fantastic.
I got it. Yeah. Still got it. It's awesome. That was great.
Yeah, we had all the gun and all the outfits and your Mexican hat and all that. It was fun. And
his mustache kept reappearing.
Yeah, it had the whiskey.
Whiskey on it, and
yeah. That was good. Watch that episode if you like the Wild West or are interested in movies too. We talked about some movies. That was cool. Then episode 5 was the NFL Origins episode, part 1, which we still have like a few more episodes filmed and ready to go for that one. So that I don't think a lot of people know about how the football got started and stuff like that. So that was a cool one to do. Episode 6 was a follow-up, and this is a follow-up to the follow-up. Has anything happened on the Epstein front lately?
I haven't seen anything.
You know what? I'm kind of a conspiracy guy in general, but that thing has become almost like factual for me, and I've kind of lost interest. Now it's like mainstream. Have you heard anything in the news about this?
Man, I could swear I saw something in the news. I just don't remember what it was. It popped up on my screen just yesterday, and I forgot what it was.
Yeah. Anyways, if you guys know what it is, say it in the comments.
Yeah, but hey, ogre.
Hey,
That's what it was.
this is what it was.
Episode 7, also one of my favorites, which was just off cuff, random. Hey, let's do an extra episode, the aliens and ghosts
Yeah, that was definitely my favorite.
episode. That was fun.
That was my favorite.
Yeah.
The fucking stories that ogre threw out there, man. I mean,
We still got to get that.
I'm not a big.
And I left a few of them on the table, though. I didn't tell all the
Well, I'm
stories.
glad you did, because we're going to do a full-fledged, just one ghost and one alien. I think we got to do that next year.
crystal ball, the whole nine.
And we're going to fuck around with that app.
Yeah, man. And I was researching a little deeper into
People
it.
were asking me, man, about it.
What, at work?
I had a lot of people tell me that
Do
was our
about
best
the app.
episode.
Like, hey, you guys gonna do one with the app?
Yeah, I've been looking into it. There's better apps by the same guy. Same price point, so it's not really a big deal. But yeah, that the next iteration of it, people are loving it, and I think it would be a natural place for us to go.
Hell yeah, we got to do that.
We can summon Epstein.
We got 2 episodes. Yeah, we got to talk
You
to
gotta
him.
be careful though, because the house.
They'll come
to
alive,
life,
man.
yeah.
They'll come alive.
Arms and legs. Episode 8 was the boxing / turned into AI with our guests Gio and Chris from the Talking Trash Can podcast, and this is episode 9, which is the 10th episode, which is a nice round number to end the year off.
I like it.
I thought it was a good year. We got this thing rolling. I have been thinking about this for a while. We got all this equipment that's not fully set up yet, but we're almost there. So I think we're gonna crush it, 2020.
You got some ideas on what you're gonna have? For
I do, and I
2020?
wanted to talk about them.
All
a
right,
little
all
bit.
right.
What are you reading my notes over
No,
there?
Using ESP, man.
Yeah, so let's bounce some of these ideas around for things that we got lined up, and maybe you have some suggestions, something you'd like us to tackle. That's cool. Leave
Yeah,
it in
you
the
can place
comments.
it in the comment. Yeah, comment on it. Anything you guys want us to drink or suggest, like a topic you want us to touch on or whatever. Like, go ahead and comment on it.
Yeah, if you want to hear more ghost stories from over or more alien stories, we'll do it.
Or just more stories, because this guy's full of stories.
Yeah. So, we already kind of talked about some of those tastings we may have. I think we could do that. Beer is good.
I think we do the tasting every fucking
Yeah, we do actually. But this would be more like a dedicated. We're just gonna try out some tequilas. Take some shots of tequila.
Oof.
Boom, boom, boom. What do you think? You'd be surprised. I've done that on my own with people, and you'd be surprised about what you consider to be an expensive liquor, and then you take a shot of it, and then you take a shot of something that's not as expensive, and you're like, man, the cheaper thing was way better actually. Sometimes names, we get
Right.
like Johnny Walker, that's a big name. I don't think it tastes as good as some other whiskeys or bourbons we've had.
Right.
Anyways, you find out interesting shit when you do some tastings. This may be the next one, that's simulation theory that we've been talking about a little bit.
Right.
So basically the simulation theory is that we're in a simulation, or not to give too much away, it has a lot to do with video games too. Video games are getting more and more real, so from the days of Pong, where it was just like a little ball and 2 little things going boop.
Well, speaking of video games, the Xbox and the Xbox X Series and the PS5 come out next holiday season. So that's gonna be.
Have you ever used any VR type of technology?
I never have. No.
Have you used any of those,
I'm sure
the
this guy's
HTSC
this guy's. Yeah.
HTSC Vive or
This
one of
guy's
those?
done
I've
some
used I've used the
Pornhub,
there's the Google Glass. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Does that go on your phone?
Yeah, you just plug your phone right into the visor of it, and they do a really great job of immersing you in that world. And then what they do to really make it educational, you could go to. I was in an orphanage in Bangladesh, which is
What were you
crazy.
doing in an orphanage in Bangladesh?
That's what the VR took me to. So all of a
I
sudden,
would picture you
no.
more
Think
in a
about
whorehouse
this.
in Reno, the fucking,
And,
the fucking orphanage in Bangladesh.
So I put it on, right, and that's where I decided to go. It was a National Geographic.
Do you walk?
Oh,
No, you're standing.
Okay.
But you look around you, and there's children all around you.
wow.
And it seems like you're there, and there's a teacher teaching and the whole night. And you could even go swim with whales and off of Sri Lanka and all that stuff. It's really cool. If you look at the National Geographic series, you can do some VR stuff that's really educational.
So
Hey, it's not always it has to be a brothel. And
that ties in to this theory a little bit where video games, how long has mankind been around? I don't know. They just
20,000 years or something like that.
How much have video games progressed just in the last 40 years from Pong to what you're talking about right now? In 40 years. That's amazing,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it's
The
incredible.
first video game system came out in the 70s, right?
Yeah.
Commodore and all that stuff.
Yeah.
ColecoVision.
So if
first
we've been
Atari.
able to go from boop, boop, to where you could put that thing on and you're like, you're in a different place, what's it going to be in 40 years? What's it going to be in 80? What's it going to be in 100? What's it going to be in 200? The theory is... Oh, go ahead.
You might have attachments on your body and stuff, man. Something that...
Of course.
Something that on you that...
Like a flashlight?
Yeah. Exactly.
That's actually kind of where I'm going. You could have that. It could become a reality.
Well, you could be in a chair that maybe you're driving a car and it moves.
Oh, what's
Well,
that?
they already
Remember
have
in Demolition Man? Was it Demolition Man that they have sex without touching each other?
Yeah, they cannot touch each other. Yeah,
Right.
That's like gross to touch each other.
Right.
So the idea of the simulation theory is if we don't blow each other up through nuclear war or something, we're gonna keep advancing. Video games are gonna keep advancing, where you cannot tell the difference between real life and virtual reality, or and if we ever get to that point, what's to say we're already,
I mean, it's an interesting theory, man.
what's to say we already
I could
didn't get there?
I could buy into that. I'm not big on buying into shit like that, but I mean, I'm a video game enthusiast,
Mm-hmm.
and I've had people come over the house, that are not into video games at all, like my in-laws or like an older person, and they watch me play like Madden or something, and they think, oh, that's not a real football game, like, oh, you're playing a video game. I thought it was an actual football game on,
Yeah, no, we have at work, we have a FIFA on the television, and you could play it. And a new girl that just got hired, she said, "Why are you guys always watching soccer?" No, that's a video game. It looks so amazing. No. She might be a subscriber or so.
It's 2020, bro. We can't be saying shit like that.
I mean,
But you were saying about Madden. Tecmo Super Bowl. You guys played that?
I love that.
Of course,
I have that here. I
this
still
guy
play it,
almost
bro.
fucking got kicked out of middle school with that.
Yeah.
That game.
I
is
still play
amazing.
that.
To
What
me,
about it?
still to this day, is probably the greatest football
I
game.
love
ever.
that game. I'll play you right
Two
now.
passing plays and 2 running plays.
No, 4.
No,
that was regular
that's
Tecmo Bowl.
Right,
Yeah, you're
we're
right.
talking Tecmo Super Bowl.
I played Tecmo Super Bowl.
Had 8 plays.
Yeah,
Oh,
and you could
fuck.
change them.
Tecmo
And you
Super
could
Bowl.
change
And
them.
you could change them, and you could change the rosters and substitute.
I mean, but dude, have you played the latest Madden?
No, I'm about to go there. I'm about to tell you
This
why
is so
I'm
fucking
bringing this up.
complex. You feel like you're like an actual coach in the NFL.
That shit gives me a headache already.
See, that's the thing with Tecmo Super Bowl. I had a button to cycle through receivers, a button to throw the ball, a button to break tackles. Like if I got caught, by the defender.
Right.
Here in Madden, I got a button to juke, another one to do a stiff arm, another one to do a spin move, another one to accelerate,
hurdle,
and then I have these buttons over here that I forget what they do. Oh, the juke right, juke left, and all that stuff.
Lateral back.
So where are you going with this, though?
It's just so complex the way the games are set up. So I can't really fully enjoy a football
Well,
game
it's
modern.
complex to you because you never really evolved from Tecmo Bowl.
That's
Are you
true,
saying he's
that's
uninvolved?
No, what I'm saying, like I played
I'm an
Tecmo
ogre.
Bowl. I played Tecmo Bowl. And I
No.
never stopped playing.
No, I never stopped playing Tecmo
First
Bowl.
Madden came out in 1989, 1990.
But there's something to be said about the simplicity of Super Tecmo Bowl, dude. It's just beautiful, dude. It's a great game.
And when the fumble comes out and the noise and the
Dude, I have somewhere a cart. They do like updated rosters. Like I have Tecmo 2018 with the roster. I didn't buy last year's or this year's. It's fun. Anyways, the idea of simulation theories that shit could happen, and if it could happen, what's to say we're not already in it? What's to say we already didn't reach the level where we can make a simulation and we're in a simulation? The thing people would argue is why the fuck would a futuristic civilization
So right now
make a
we'll
simulation?
be like fucking like avatars, basically, of ourselves.
Maybe.
I'm a fucking terrible looking avatar, bro.
Hey,
I
bro.
will never make an avatar look like me.
I don't know how that shit works. I have a story to tell, but I should save it for when we actually do the simulation theory.
save it
I have a
first.
really good story. Anyways, that's an upcoming episode. Civil War. We're gonna talk about the Civil War. You guys into that shit?
Man, I love the Civil War. Give me enough time, I'm gonna grow a sideburn and everything.
A sideburn, just
One sideburn?
What the fuck?
Just grow this one. That's the one that comes
Hey,
out on
do
the
you know
camera.
how the sideburns the word came from?
I imagine they got burned on the side.
No. There was this dude. His name was Colonel.
Wasn't that fun?
There was a guy that
You're getting in that hysteria mode.
there was a guy that his name was he was Colonel Burnsides.
Oh, okay.
Right, and his thing was to grow sideburns.
And one of the guys under him was like,
Just flipped his name around. It took off, and the legend was born.
Wow.
Wow.
So I should have saved that for the
No,
Civil War
You
story.
could bring it again.
that story was
Some of these are just ideas, not specific things that we're committed to. I know the simulation theory we're committed to.
Right.
We might talk about the Bay of Pigs one day.
1961.
Everybody here's Cuban. I know
Yeah.
you have family that served there in the
my
invasion.
dad and his brother.
Yeah.
Actually, my uncle, which is my dad's brother, he passed.
It's a little more somber topic. you know.
Yeah, I think that'll be kind of like something like we don't really want to touch into that.
Yeah, maybe when we get more professional, we can talk about that. You know, I'm fascinated with like high profile murders and like
Serial killers. I love serial killers.
killers. O.J. Simpson.
Yeah.
I know Ralph doesn't feel great about that topic. I mean,
About killers or
I mean,
No,
I like the whole. I mean, the whole serial killer thing. Yeah.
but you feel like everything's been talked about already with O.J. Simpson.
Yeah, O.J. Simpson, man, is like he's been like dragged through the mud already, dude.
Maybe he'll come on the show.
Does he still live around here?
I'm not sure where he lives now. Colts, you know, those are kind of interesting sometimes.
I thought you were going to say the Baltimore Colts.
No, like Colts and
Ah.
as in
Like
Heaven's
David,
Gate.
like David Koresh.
Yeah, David Koresh, with Jamestown, shit like that. Space travel, which we've touched on a little bit. You know, there's some big shit coming up with the going back to the moon and trying to make it to Mars and shit like
Well, I
that.
have a new thing on Netflix. It's called.
Really?
Did you see it?
No?
That it said. It's called Conspiracy, I think, and I
It's
think
like a season, right? Like they have
yeah,
a bunch
like
of
seasons.
episodes.
I think the first season is talking about the whole.
This is a new thing?
Yeah, it just came out. It's talking about the whole moon
Moon
landing
landing?
being a hoax.
I mean, we kind of touched on this in the Alien episode, I think.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we did.
it's weird, man.
This guy took it to Mysterio Land.
It's weird, dude. I'll repeat it. We only went when Nixon was there. We went 6 times in a span of 5 years. We never went back. Nobody else went. We haven't done shit since.
But how much can you really do after about 6 missions there? What else could you do
There
there?
should be something after that.
Right.
You don't think we landed there?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's fucking weird. And if you were to tell me tomorrow, newsflash, it was a hoax.
Right.
We never
you-
landed. I'd be like, nah, I'm not
But
that
wait,
fucking
you
surprised.
could see the equipment with a telescope right now. If you look at the moon, you can see stuff that they left behind.
Okay, I don't have that. Most people don't have that.
I mean, if you go to Oregon, I'm sure you could spot fucking Bigfoot also.
No.
But
Most
don't know,
people don't
man.
have that telescope. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I'm just saying, dude, is like, I don't know, man. Like what the goat said last time, I think when we did the ghost episode, that the an iPhone, like the latest iPhone right now, has more power and like more technology than they did back then when they landed on the moon, supposedly. And we don't really like go back or like do anything.
There hasn't been a next step. Like we
Yeah,
haven't done the
like-
next.
Well, they went to Mars with the rover.
Nothing manned though. I'm talking manned.
How long would it take to get to Mars?
I think it's like a year or some shit like that.
A coon's age. That's all.
Dude,
fucking long.
you don't
Yeah.
think people would sign up for the notoriety of making that trip? You would be.
There would be no shortage.
famous.
There would be no shortage of people.
Then how come we haven't done it?
You're preaching to the choir over here, dude. I don't know why. Anyway, so space travel might be. I'm so down on the NFL and the Dolphins this year, but I still think it may. If there's ever a year to do a draft show, it's this one, especially since we
Yeah,
have
the
three
Dolphins
first
are gonna
picks.
have.
Yeah, we may.
You
know,
guys got how many picks you got coming up next year?
there's
3 in
like-
the first, 2 in the fifth, in the second, 5 in the first 2, something like that.
yeah. A
And
lot
I think the
of picks.
Steelers lost today.
So
I
it's
think.
basically like a Cleveland Brown year for you guys.
Yeah, it's fucking definitely brown. That's for sure. I know you guys are not too big on hip hop, but that's like an episode I kind of want to do, the golden age of hip hop. Wrestling, maybe when WrestleMania time comes around.
I'm huge on wrestling. Man.
Something.
Oh yeah. Well, I know '80s wrestling.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I still watch wrestling because my son's like really into it. So
I don't know when the World Cup comes around, but whenever that comes around, we may want to do like a World Cup show.
It's like every even
Not
year,
for
right?
Every
Like
4 years.
yeah, I'm not huge into soccer, but
I get into it that
the
time of
World
year.
Cup, yeah, of course.
Yeah. We already said we're doing the full-fledged aliens, ghosts. Mafia is an interesting topic.
Man, I love Mafia, man. Yeah.
Mafia's not what it used to be.
Well,
But
they have the Irishman.
I haven't seen it. Has anybody seen it?
Dude,
I've
it's
seen
like it's a trek to watch that.
Like
It's like
3.5
5
hours.
hours,
Well, it's
man.
connected to the whole Jimmy Hoffa thing.
Yeah, it revolves around that.
Yeah,
I think it's like 4 hours.
Did you see it?
it's all part of it.
It's hard to
It's
watch
long.
the entire
It's
thing
long,
in one
it's long.
sitting. It's long.
Yeah.
Now, that's not to say it's not entertaining, because it is.
It is.
But it's just long.
Yeah, I gotta check that out.
And they CGI'd Pesci, right?
yeah,
I think everybody they use de-aging technology on a little bit.
right.
We said we might do a video game one day, like the history of video games is kind of interesting. That would tie into the fucking simulation thing
Yeah.
too.
That'll be cool. I mean, there's a lot of history behind it.
Yeah. Do you guys ever
E.T.
heard of like the video game crash era?
Of 1982.
Yeah.
With E.T. E.T. was the one that started it, and they buried it all, a bunch of E.T. tapes in like some dumpster, and they tried to find them. Because they would be worth a lot of money if you can find the dumpster in which they...
The whole story too, how Sega went out of business, is pretty cool too.
Is that part of this thing? The crash?
Not the crash of 82.
No,
The crash of '82 was basically a shitload of companies getting in at the same time, and there was too many consoles,
Right.
too many different
And
games,
the-
and,
and
that
the
everybody
quality-
unsustainable, right?
Yeah, the quality of the games, everybody was just racing to get a title out, and the quality of the game suffered, and nobody wanted to buy games anymore. And it
And too
nearly
many
died.
systems, though, right? Like too many
systems.
choices.
Too many choices and poor games.
And I remember
In the early
really cool
90s
games.
too, there was those video game systems that never made the cut. Neo Geo, TurboGrafx 16. Those systems, they just put them out there and they lasted about a year or two, and then they went out of business.
there was nothing cooler for me than when I was a kid, besides getting my G.I. Joes, and then later in life, what replaced getting my G.I. Joes was going. You remember this?
Well, you still get G.I. Joes, don't you?
I still do. But going to the store and you would get like that paper with Contra, and then you'd take that paper and you'd pay the cashier at Toys R Us,
Oh, yeah,
and then
yeah.
you'd go with
The ticket.
Yeah, then you go with that ticket into that booth with the glass.
There was a glass with a little
Yeah,
slit on the
and
bottom,
they
and
would slide
you
your game. You're like, oh yeah.
Like a process, dude.
Dude, they would like guard those games with their lives, dude, and it was.
What was that code for Contra? Up, down, left, right, BA, start.
Wow, you still know that. So yeah, like that would be cool to do that. I think we could do a full-fledged AI episode one day, maybe. You guys got any ideas?
What about comic books?
Yeah, I'm not like that big, but yeah, I mean, I know
I'm huge into
enough
comic
to
books.
talk about.
That's like, I'm huge into that, so.
There's a friend of mine. He does Hialeah Comic Bro. He'd probably be a good guest if we do that. I know he knows a lot about it. I know you're into comics.
I like
mentioned-
doing magic, like a magic one.
Yeah, okay, I have that here somewhere.
Like talk about like famous like magicians and like escape
Would you
artists
do a
like, throughout
trick?
the years. A trick, me?
Yeah, you would you do a trick like
Nah, I don't do tricks.
fucking eat a
I'm
salad
not a
and
fucking
Oh,
dog,
what?
bro.
No, oh, sorry.
No, but I mean,
Yeah, that,
magic is like an interesting thing, man. Because even though it's like wrestling almost, you know, like
it's kind of a dying breed.
like
though,
you
right?
know it's. Well, I mean,
no, there's some guys that
I
are
don't know,
over the
man.
top, like you have
Blaine.
Blaine, and Chris Angel.
Chris Angel guys, the whole rock star look, and
Copperfield was the big.
Copperfield was huge when we were growing up.
There's a couple.
But he was
good
more
movies.
like an illusionist.
What's the difference? Okay.
An illusionist is like, you know, like make a fucking building disappear. Or
What's the
something.
guy whose face got mauled by a tiger?
Yeah, those are those.
Those are the Sigmund and Roy.
Siegfried and Roy.
But they were
No,
magicians.
no, they were-
Yeah,
they
they were
were-
magicians.
Were they? I
They
thought
used
they
to hide
just
the pickles.
How about Pender? What's that?
Penn and Teller.
Penn
and
and Teller.
Teller.
They're like comedian magicians. They're cool. I like them. I like one doesn't talk. The other one is like kind of funny.
Yeah, I saw one of them on Road one day.
But David Blaine is badass. Those are like street performers. I like the whole street performer thing, you know, like walk up to like a crowd of people and just.
I don't understand some of their tricks. Like
No,
David Blaine
does
it doesn't make any sense. Like he would tell you, "Hey, your wallet's in your back pocket," and he would see it, and you would put it back in your back pocket, and then he says, "No, it's not there anymore." And all of a sudden, across the street in a shopping mall behind a glass, it's showing up as like a part of jewelry, like as if it's being showcased. How do you do that?
It's fake.
You know the tricks I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I mean, the guy's badass, dude. He does some cool shit.
It's gotta be fake, though.
I mean,
it's fake.
Obviously, everything is fake, but I'm saying like the whole. It's like wrestling, man. It's like you know it's fake, but it's entertainment.
Yeah, but you know how it's fake wrestling.
Yeah, but I'm saying like the magicians.
That's
like,
what makes that shit
you
interesting.
gotta.
You don't know exactly how they did it.
The whole thing about the magician is, okay, everybody knows it's fake. Obviously, the guy doesn't have any powers, or
Maybe
he's
he
not like a
does.
mutant. Or
He walked on water, man.
Yeah, but the whole his presentation and not giving anything away. And,
Yeah, it's all about the showmanship.
right.
Right.
The way he fucking sets everything up and how everything comes out, like it flows so nicely. That's what makes it nice to watch. You know, that's what makes it interesting to watch. I mean, everybody knows it's fake, but
You don't know how they did it. That's
the
what
guy
makes it.
it's like a guy practicing his craft. You know, like he's so good at it that it almost looks like it's real. Like he knows, like it looks like almost like he has powers,
Right.
even though you know it's fake.
What if he did have power?
Yeah, maybe he does, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe like in the comics, you know, the mutants.
No,
are like,
there's some dick on
No,
YouTube.
yeah,
Maybe he's
that
like an
comes out.
alien.
maybe.
There's always some fucking pickle whistler on YouTube that comes out and
And
like
he ruins it.
ruins it. It's this is how they did that trick. Blah blah blah.
That's good though.
You know?
That guy probably gets a lot of views.
Yeah, he's a dick.
Um,
You don't do that.
5 movies that you take with you to a desert island.
Oof.
That would be an episode we could do.
Yeah.
Everybody chimes in their 5 movies. I had fun on the Tarantino movie episode. We really haven't done another movie one. That might be a way to
Yeah.
get back into it. How about you, or anything on your hit list you'd like to do next year?
Word.
No, I actually I'd like to hear a lot more feedback from you, the listener and the viewer, about some things that I want to make it more interactive. I want to hear what you guys want to say, what you guys want to have us cover. So that to me is kind of going into 2020. No, it doesn't have to be porn. Going into 2020, I want to hear more feedback from our viewers and
So
listeners.
maybe we could do like some lives or something like that on IG or Facebook, and then have a little interaction going on. I know there's Skype things some people do.
And I think we're getting enough of a following where I think that might make a whole lot of sense and set us apart. So I'd like to do a little something for the viewers and listeners like
That'd
that.
be cool.
Yeah, it'd be cool, man. I would like that.
What else do we got, dude? We've kind of recapped what we've done this year, what we want to do next year, a little bit about Christmas, year end. You guys end up doing anything special for New Year's, or?
I mean, I think we have like small kids, man. It's tough, man. Like to go to like a party or like
Yeah.
Dude, honestly, man, like my kids, like my son, he's 9 already, so he'll be all right. But my daughter, she's 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's
like
right
a
in that.
fucking gremlin, dude. If I keep her anywhere after midnight, dude, bad shit is just gonna fucking happen, bro. So I was like waiting for midnight to have a drink and eat some grapes and shit. I'd fucking do that at home, man.
Yeah, no, this year New Year's is going to be a stay at home
Stay-in
event.
event?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
this year's been like traveling a whole bunch, and I just don't want to deal with that for New Year's.
Right.
And plus, I got a dog that freaks out when the fireworks are
No.
shooting
Yeah.
off and stuff.
Max, right?
No, her name is Daisy. It's a girl.
I love how you act like you know all the shit and then
Dog,
it's
it's fucking Grinch, bro.
Oh, I got you.
Max,
Right.
Max.
Oh,
You fucked me up with the uncle. You're like, oh, it's your favorite uncle, right? He's like, nah, that guy's a dick. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah,
Aurelio with the blue jacket.
I'm probably trending
The
towards
ball of glass.
staying home also this year. Lately, I've been doing that. Or, we have a little bit of family come over. And
I mean, dude, we're in our 40s.
Hey, do you
bro.
get
we don't
ex-
get invited to much parties?
Yeah.
I'd go, though. Dude, invite me to your party. I'll go.
do you get excited
Me
over New
too.
Year's or?
I like to get ripped.
All right.
So like
I
any excuse,
I get ripped every day, bro.
any excuse to do that, I'll do
That's
it.
like a legit rip.
Yeah,
you know?
like nobody can say, "Hey, what are you drunk?" I'm like, "It's
Yeah, it's
fucking
fucking
New
New
Year's,
Year's, bro.
It's the only time of year.
Or fucking yak. When's the last time you yacked in a New Year's?
Is that yards after catch? Oh,
No.
throw up,
Throw up.
dude. I had a bad one time.
I think mine was like 2000.
It was when they gave me the grapes.
I would say 2011.
In general, or
No, this was like a real bad
or for
one.
New Year's?
Like 2011 to 2012, man. I think Rafa was like 2
What,
years
the last
old.
time you threw up from drinking?
Yeah.
Last time I threw up from drinking was episode 3 of the show.
You're a fucking...
Dude, I haven't done that in a while.
I was so wasted that following morning. I was throwing up all over the place.
I
Man.
had,
dry heaving. That was
Oh.
just out of control.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It was bad.
I had
You
a
told
little
me like in
streak.
the red light you were fucking throwing up in your car.
Oh yeah, man.
Jesus, watch that episode if you want to see how he got like that. I had a little streak where that would happen to me, and then like I kind of learned, like you
Grew
know,
balls.
you set some limits. You
Right.
drink some water. You can't go eat some food. If you're gonna drink heavily, food.
It's hard though.
Water.
New Year's though, man. Like in a party though. I'm
Yeah.
talking about like in a party.
But you gotta
setting
remember
or-
those rules, dude. In
I
between,
agree.
have a
But
little bit of water.
in a New Year's like party setting,
Eat
it's
some
a
food.
lot of peer pressure involved, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not saying stop drinking. Just make sure you drink water.
Like
in
right
between
now
and
we're
food.
drinking what? What are we drinking, bro?
This is Knob Creek bourbon, which is really good.
And what were we drinking before?
We had Moscow Mules, which
Nice.
is vodka with ginger beer and lemon.
Hit
Really
you
good.
where?
In the back of the throat.
That's the fucking gayest thing I remember.
By no means am I saying stop drinking, but you gotta hydrate too, because this shit'll dehydrate you.
Yeah.
And if you eat, that'll help you keep going, especially if you're in for the that Noche Buena drinking.
Yeah.
Right.
That type of drinking.
Like, there's always the asshole. Noche Buena or like New Year's. There's always that one guy with the
That
peer
gets ripped?
pressure. Yeah.
But as long as you remember,
Pull out some crazy fucking
Yeah.
concoction. Hey, let's do shots.
but as long as you
You don't
remember
want to be
your
a
rules,
pussy
man,
in front of
you're
everybody.
good,
Yeah,
man.
good.
What happens with me is I'll remember my rule of drinking water, hydrating, and then I have that one moment where I slip, and then I remember the rules now going forward. I haven't forgotten.
Yeah, every once in a while you need a reminder.
Yep.
Yeah.
Episode 3 was
Yeah, when you fucking pray to the porcelain gods.
Dude, that
That's
was
your
bad.
reminder.
So yeah, if you're gonna get ripped, drink water, eat food. That'll keep you going a while.
And pace yourself.
Yeah, you want to enjoy it. You don't want to be like all fucking episode 3 sowing,
Right.
on people.
With some fucking Wanstead fucking mask. Fucking whiskey on your mustache.
And don't drink and drive. What else we got, dudes? It's late. There's a fucking thunderstorm. This would be a great weather for like spooky episode,
There's
right?
a tornado warning going
There's a
on.
tornado warning
Miami-Dade.
until 5 a.m. in Miami-Dade.
This is the perfect time to do a ghost episode because what happens is with the electrical of the lightning, ghosts
It
feed
brings
off
them
of
alive.
It makes them. It gives them energy in which to manifest
Wow.
Wow, dude, why though?
because that's what they use. They don't have a physical body. They use energy.
So it's like a charger.
Yeah, man.
Chargers on, dudes.
One of the things that they do with these ghost paranormal enthusiasts, they'll put a pump. It's basically a little device.
It's not mine, I swear.
They'll put a
One
pump
ticket.
that pumps out electricity, and what the idea is that
Personal
they feed off
penis
of
and
it.
larger pump.
Not that type of pump.
It's not my bag. Austin Powers.
That's funny, man. A pump.
What else is on you guys' mind?
The magician one will be cool, man. Definitely. I think Bay of Pigs would be a little too grim, to do.
Oh, it's definitely not a lighthearted story, but
I
I
definitely need to have like somebody here, like somebody who like lived through it.
Oh, you know what I have, dude? I don't know how much you guys are into baseball. I find the Negro Leagues really fascinating because, like, a lot of those guys didn't get to make it to play in the big leagues, but they were good enough to play in the big leagues. I kind of, like, exchanged some messages with a guy who runs a page, and his grandfather was an ex-Negro League player. And that I thought that'd be cool to get him in on Skype one day and just tell some of those stories of some of
That'd
those
be really cool.
players that never got to make it. Some of them did, like Satchel Paige. You guys heard of him, I'm sure. That guy, he's like a 42-year-old rookie, and he helped the Indians win a World Series one year. There's a lot of guys like that, man. It's not
Josh
just,
Gibson is
yeah,
another
Josh
one,
Gibson's like the Black Babe Ruth, basically, dude. He was a catcher, a big time power hitter.
Okay, like a
I
wrestler.
got a lot of the bobbleheads up there.
I would love to have like a wrestler on here, man.
That'd be awesome, dude. One day, yeah, to have a wrestling guest.
Maybe not like a superstar, like guy making millions of dollars, but maybe a guy that just made it to the.
Anybody who was there,
Yeah.
dude, would be cool. I had a couple ideas of some guys we could try to get. That'd be awesome, man. To get somebody who was. I'm cool if. It's cool to have. Sometimes it's even cooler to have people that didn't make it, but people that were. There's a show or a movie like Just Beyond. I don't remember the name of this. Like, they're not the star, but they were like the backup singer to the star. So they were around all the shit, but they weren't the person. So those people probably, the bodyguard, the security guard for,
the roadie.
Yeah, who was with that act or whatever for a long time, but nobody knows who they are, but they know all the
No, there's
shit.
a story to tell.
Yeah,
right?
they have probably interesting stories because they're like a fly on the wall in these people's lives, which is cool. So yeah, we should try to get into some guests next year. That'd be cool. Get ripped again a few times. Anything else on your mind, dude?
Well, you got me excited with the whole ghost and alien.
Excited.
Yeah, no. Now that we talked about this pump, I got really excited.
He said excited and the word pump in the same
It's
sentence.
not my bad, I swear.
So yeah, no, that would be an interesting show. I think I got a lot of feedback from people who watched that and thought that was a really interesting premise. So maybe we get into that a little sooner than later. I don't know. We'll see how the schedule kind of plays out.
Yeah, I think. We do simulation theory next.
Yeah,
I think
mean,
so.
unless whatever they comment on, we're willing to take any bidders. Take anybody on who wants to throw something out there. Maybe they want us to talk about or something.
Oh yeah.
And please suggest a drink because I'm always bringing whiskeys and such. I want to bring some different shit. So if you have some different stuff that's not whiskey,
The Moscow
Let's
Mule
do
was
it.
a nice change up today.
I
to
like
start.
that, man.
Those
I
are-
like that. But
That's
for
good.
sure, man, let's do some different drinks that is non-whiskey based.
I mean, I could do the White Russians. We haven't tried those. We could do those one day.
I'm down.
All right, let's do it.
All right, wrap it up, guys.
Yeah.
All right, cool, man. Merry Christmas. Happy
Merry
New
Christmas,
Year's.
man.
Likewise
Thanks
to
for
you guys.
watching,
Have a
guys.
safe,
Like and
safe
subscribe.
holidays, safe Christmas, safe New Year's.
Subscribe if you can. Share if you can. And tune in next time, guys. Thank you. Be safe.